Welcome to the 2025 State of the City video presentation. I'm Rebecca Grill, your city manager, and on behalf of the Common Council and city staff, thank you for joining us for this annual opportunity to showcase the exciting things happening in your local government. I believe that it's important to tell our story to ensure that our city is serving your needs effectively and efficiently. I'm new to Oshkosh, but I can already see that Oshkosh is a city with people who care about their community, who care about their neighbors, and who are enjoying a community with economic growth and a rich history. Oshkosh has a solid foundation on which to build for a successful future. Much of the work that has been accomplished in our local government has been successful thanks to the city's strategic plan. I've understood the value of strategic planning in the communities where I've previously served, and I see the value that this planning has for Oshkosh. In this presentation, we're going to look at the elements of the city's strategic plan and how the plan is providing real solutions for the needs of our residents. Natural, cultural, and recreational assets of the city are recognized as a source of pride for the community. Our Oshkosh Public Museum is a great example of this. The museum has its own unique way of serving the public through enhancing our quality of life in Oshkosh. The museum's new Waldwick Gallery allows our city's cultural heritage to be accessible for all ages. Museum Director Anna Canizo describes how the strategic plan helps bring history alive, our history, through the work of the museum.
The Waldwick Gallery will be used primarily to host temporary or rotating exhibitions. So the biggest part of our mission that this gallery helps advance is really making the cultural heritage of Oshkosh and the Lake Winnebago region accessible. The Waldwick Gallery, it's not only mission critical for us, but it allows us to better serve the public, which is a very important part of what the city of Oshkosh does. And our department allows us to do that in a different way. A strategic plan is, I think, important in a variety of ways, whether it's just the museum having a strategic plan to a wider strategic plan. It allows us to focus our goals and our efforts. It provides a really strong roadmap where we can align those goals to resources and make sure that we are making good decisions on behalf of the citizens of Oshkosh.
Oshkosh is recognized as a premier community in Wisconsin by fostering entrepreneurial activity, developing and retaining a diverse mix of employees and employment opportunities, and by revitalizing the central city and waterfront. Our staff works with current developers, as well as those who have ideas for the future, to bring those ideas to fruition. Economic development brings a whole range of benefits to our community.
We have a lot of projects that come to us that are already interested in Oshkosh and our community, and we just keep them on the right path towards getting that development going. And we're very grateful for that. We know that even though we're maybe not the largest city in the state, we have a lot of wonderful development going on here. It can do a lot of other things within the community. It can take spaces that were previously underutilized or blighted and make them really vibrant. And then one of my favorite parts is that it can really help with environmental cleanup. I think a lot of people think of a strategic plan as just a long-term financial plan, and economic development doesn't always tie into that in ways that they would originally think. But the strategic plan here has a lot of really great objectives that do touch on economic development, so it helps provide a path for those projects within our community to see really where they can go. We know what we should be working on and what we want to accomplish, and the community knows that too. And if you ever wanted to wonder if we were on the same page, you have that confirmation within that strategic plan.
Safe and effective infrastructure provides our community with a framework that we all enjoy. The tertiary treatment facility at the wastewater treatment plant helps us maintain our infrastructure by keeping our facilities in line with federal standards and by allowing us to be good stewards of our environment.
The tertiary filtration facility here at the wastewater treatment plant is really, it's a third treatment process, hence the tertiary name to it. And the purpose of it is to really try to reduce the amount of phosphorus that's in our effluent going back out to the Fox River. This is a big chunk of infrastructure here at the wastewater treatment plant. This facility has been here in its current capacity for about 50 years. We've been doing a lot of maintenance, but adding this tertiary filtration process is a big part of operating and maintaining our infrastructure, and it fits very strongly into that section of our strategic plan. And looking ahead and planning for the types of projects that we need to do helps us do it effectively and efficiently and the most cost effectively. Without a good plan, things can be a little haphazard and end up costing more than they need to if they're not as thoroughly planned out. And that's where the strategic plan gives us that guidance to point us in the direction that we want the community to go.
We work to ensure that residents and visitors alike feel that Oshkosh is a safe community. The new homeless outreach team will provide resources for those in need in our community. The team will serve to enhance public safety and health, specifically mental health, through their work alongside our behavioral health unit of the Oshkosh Police Department.
The homeless outreach team is going to be responsible for collecting data as it relates to our homeless or unhoused community, also collecting data on resources that are available and being able to share those resources with those who are in need without actually finding out from those who are suffering from homelessness, what is it that you need that's going to help you get out of homelessness. There's not a whole lot of survey like that going on out there in our community, and that's what this team's going to be doing. If we don't have a plan in place on a path to go in that direction, then we're going to fail. If we don't have a plan, we're destined to stay exactly where we are. We're just going to wander around and not accomplish anything.
The work of our Oshkosh Fire Department is also critical. Fire Chief Tim Hyman speaks about the importance of training in the fire department.
Green Bay Packers practice every day so they can be sharp on Sundays. Unfortunately, we don't always know when Sunday is going to be. The bell can go off at any time, so we try to keep our training current. We try to train on as many subjects as we can. Our specialty areas such as dive, hazmat, aircraft response, vehicle extrication, all kind of require different skill sets. That all kind of ties into areas of the strategic plan where we try to use our training to further enhance those areas. So with strategic planning, you can realize coordination between city departments because we all have a common goal that we're moving towards. I think you can find efficiencies. It provides an opportunity for community engagement and community input to help guide the city departments and what's important and what is valued by the citizens. So I think tying that all together is why strategic planning is a really important process, and also to provide some measurable goals moving forward to help guide the future decision makers.
We want our neighborhoods throughout the community to be attractive, well-maintained, and desirable places to live. The Great Neighborhoods program serves to strengthen our community by creating neighborhood spaces and, in turn, stronger, safer, and happier neighborhoods. These things work together to create growth and positivity in Oshkosh.
Since I'm newer to the city, I asked some staff what their favorite projects were, and I got some great ideas back. One of the ones that came up the most was the utility box wraps. And this is actually in multiple neighborhoods. They have the ability to create kind of an artscape around the utility boxes, and I think it really just creates this nice little focal point within those areas that gives a breath of fresh air within those communities. If you have happy residents, you're going to have growth within your community, and sometimes creating those neighborhood spaces, sometimes creating a business where people can come and enjoy it, it all works together, it all flows together, and that's ultimately what we're trying to do, is create just a happier, safer place for residents in the community. You wouldn't necessarily think of gathering spaces as a plan that a city would want. It provides such a sense of community to people within the neighborhoods that we're strengthening those communities and those neighborhoods in the same way. And on top of that, we're helping people feel safer within the community. So it may not seem like it, but it is meeting several of our strategic plan goals in the process. Economic development, community development, all of these programs are so connected to so many different departments, and that's why we're here to help facilitate that. It's community development for a reason.
We have a focus on maximizing organizational efficiency by successfully achieving our initiatives. From internal process improvements to outreach for citizen engagement, our goal is to serve our residents effectively. Our continued use of technology will improve our efficiency and provide more data for us to improve our operations. Meanwhile, we will continue our efforts to better tell our story so that the public is more aware of the things we're doing and why we're doing them. We also work to recruit, retain, engage, develop, and recognize our employees. This brings me to our recognition of our Employee of the Year. This year's recipient works to serve our residents as part of our public safety team. During the Oshkosh Half Marathon, Community Service Officer Ella Purvis observed a runner, Isaac, experiencing dizziness and dehydration. She assisted him by moving him to a safe, grassy area before he lost consciousness for over 10 minutes. CSO Purvis and her colleagues called EMS. Isaac was hospitalized overnight for monitoring. The medical staff indicated that Purvis's timely intervention prevented more serious injuries. Isaac's family expressed their gratitude for Purvis's alertness and compassionate actions. We recognize Community Service Officer Ella Purvis as our Employee of the Year for her efforts and dedication. Congratulations, Ella! We have several noteworthy street reconstruction projects, as well as other infrastructure improvements planned for this year. For details on these and other projects, please visit the Capital Improvements dashboard on the city's website. Also, new this year is a Facilities Maintenance dashboard, which highlights city facility improvement projects coordinated by the city's Facilities Maintenance Division. Development continues at a brisk pace in Oshkosh. We have projects underway or set to start in various areas of the city. In the downtown area, we have the building next to the former Northwestern newspaper building, the Truffle Pig restaurant. The Marriott Hotel, which is the former Best Western Hotel on Main Street. Additional murals will be added to our downtown. An alley activation, the Vibrant Spaces grant, is now complete. In the I-41 corridor, we have new development, including the Golden Nest restaurant on Oshkosh Avenue. Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers is open on Washburn Street. We also have a number of residential projects underway. The Mill on Main development will be a mixed-use apartment complex and a commercial center. Construction for Phase 1 of this project is expected to be completed in 2026. All 3 phases of the project will bring in 300 housing units. Also underway is the Corridor residential development on North Main Street. The development's first 3-story mid-rise building will contain 39 apartment units. The building will also contain Oshkosh's first and only licensed 2-shift daycare facility. The corridor is expected to be completed by spring 2026. The Boatworks Marina multifamily housing project is located close to the Ohio Street Bridge on the site of the former Boatworks Marina. The first phase will have 26 units and the second will have 30. This housing development will be available for leasing late this year. We're also building additional workforce housing on the site of the former Washington School building, as well as in the Farmington neighborhood. I hope that this annual look at our city's activities, projects, and future goals has been informative and helpful. Our vision is to be a thriving and sustainable community, offering abundant opportunities for work and life. Our strategic plan helps us keep on track with our goals, objectives, and strategies for actions. Our planning process ensures that the perspective of our citizens remains at the center of the work we do each day. I encourage you to consider serving on a city board, commission, or committee to get involved in the process. Oshkosh is a dynamic city with a bright outlook, and I'm excited to be part of it. Thank you for taking the time to view this presentation, and we welcome your feedback. Your city staff are proud to serve the citizens of Oshkosh every day, as am I. Together, we're moving forward in our collective efforts to make Oshkosh an even greater place to live, work, play, and learn.